Good afternoon. I hereby call this agenda review meeting of Nacogdoches ISD Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that the quorum is present and notice of this meeting was posted as required by Texas Open Meeting Act. All board members are present. Today, all items are on the agenda for discussions only. No voting will take place at this meeting. Thank you for joining us and ask to please turn your cell phones to the silent mode. Next topic is public comments, and we have not received any request to address the board. However, those who are interested to address the board in the future meetings, the instructions of how to sign up are included with the meeting notice. Okay, we quickly move to the consent agenda. This portion of the meeting, we will discuss items from the consent agenda. No action will be taken on these items. And we start with the board meeting minutes from July 2025 meetings. Board members, are there any questions concerning those? No questions, no comments?
Nope.
Okay. Next, we move to business office report, and presenter would be Mr. Ben Eberland, Chief Financial Officer.
Yes, sir. President Nierman, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Burton. I believe first on our topic is the budget amendments. We have two budget amendments. The first one is budgeting donations for convocation, and the other is going to be transferring funds per campus/department request in between functions. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, board, any questions, any comments? If not, we move to donations under $2,500.
Yes, sir. Communications is the bulk of this. Communications received $2,000 from AMP Inflatables for convocation, $2,000 from Spirit Outfitters for convocation, $1,500 from NIBCO for convocation, $2,000 from East Texas Professional Credit Union for convocation, and $500 from Southside Bank for convocation. NHS received $200 from Christ the Savior Orthodox Church for Feed the Hungry, and $150 from Commercial Bank of Texas for Fish Camp. Margie Chumley / social workers received $300 from 21-7 Association / Nancy Niehaus, I believe is how you pronounce that, and Brandy Gentry for supporting students with basic needs.
Okay, thank you. We certainly appreciate it, thankful. Okay. Next, we move to donation over $2,500.
Yes, sir. The district received a $777,600 donation from 4G Poultry / David Pittman for the NISD FFA Ag Barn whenever it is constructed in the future.
Okay.
Question, where is 4G Poultry? Where is that?
I'm not sure where they're located.
It is future building for that poultry, which is right, you know, where the Lowe's stores is. Lowe's.
Right.
It's a company coming in.
You pass that, there's a piece of property, it's belong to NISD, and that's why we sold, and they're going to use it for that purpose, the poultry.
Okay, so they're going to be building.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody can give better explanation, I'll be glad to hear it. Okay. Next, investment report.
Yeah, it's our standard investment report. I'm not quite sure if it's in your paper packets for those of you who have paper ones, but it was just uploaded into Board Book. It's a standard investment report. There's really not any substantial changes. However, if you do have questions, we'll be sure to get some paper ones to you. But if you're in Board Book, they should be uploaded.
Okay. Board, any question? All right. We move to miscellaneous business office report.
Yes, sir. Hold on one second. I gotta get it. These are just going to be our standard. There's not much that's changed. Our standard reports, we have our bank rec, summary of revenues and expenditures for all funds, summary expenditure status report for the general fund, check register sorted by vendor, and the tax collection report is not in there this month.
Okay. Any surprise or anything, folks? Any questions? Okay, we move in the purchase over 50,000, which is Universal Time Equipment Company, Intercom System Addition, and presenter again, Mr. Michael Martin.
And Board, I'm going to step in for Mr. Martin on this. We're still, and I kind of need to know y'all's feelings about it or how you'd like to proceed. In looking at this and looking at their quote, they've listed itemized speakers to be installed, but they didn't itemize wiring or some of the other things. And it says at the bottom of the install price, but we're not 100% sure at this time if that is an installed price. So what we would like to do is get back with them, get either a better printout of exactly what it is they're planning on doing, and if wiring and whatnot is not included in this, we would definitely need to table this. So I just need to know from you at this moment, do we want to move this item to information for this month, or do we want to leave it as is until Thursday and just take no action if we can't figure it out by then?
What's your comments?
So I was wondering, they have very simple but strict contract, and it puts all the impetus on us, and it talks about new. They're only going to worry about new. Well, do we have to wire in old speakers? So I have questions about that. But the other thing is, if this is a Region 7 vendor, they have to have some credibility, but do they have a good reputation? And have we checked on their reputation of doing this work? Because if we're going to buy cheap Chinese speakers and they're going to last 1.5 years, what do we gain?
Right.
To get the cheapest price.
Well, and I can tell you about Universal Time, there's actually probably 2 companies in the state, maybe in the region, that do this kind of work, and Universal Time is one of those. We've used them, districts all over the place use them all the time. So it is a reputable company.
So you have experience?
Yes, we've had experience with them before. Yeah, you bet. Like I said, the only question I have is, in looking at it, I don't want y'all to approve a price and then them come back and say, well, we're outsourcing X to get this installed and try to come back with another price. So we need to really double check that to be sure it's correct, and then we'd be good to move forward. It's not a problem with the company, it's a problem with our understanding what they're wanting to do.
So maybe we just need to move it out to discussion
We can.
from consent, and then we can have further conversation about it.
They cannot make a commitment on the exact date to start or finish also, and it says the terminates with 30 days. After 30 days may change, and a 1-year warranty. Beside that, when I was looking at the list, I noticed there was a Davis Gym was using it, and I haven't been around. Is Davis Gym is still open for?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, absolutely. They use
Okay.
it for PE every day.
Okay, you know how close I am with that.
And actually, that's paging horns. That's going to be horns, I think, more on the outside of that building to be
Right.
sure it's covered outside.
What about Belgium? What is the Belgium is utilized for?
Mainly after-school activities.
Okay. Okay.
So I have a question, so all of the campuses are not included in this, does that mean the other 3, they do not need this support?
These are, we looked at the areas in the district that don't currently, we think there might be issues as far as communication goes. We have speakers in all over. This would be completing the spots that we feel like there could be a problem. Maybe they can't hear the paging all the time, or they can't hear an announcement all the time. So this would be to shore up the rest of it. Everybody else has it. This was the reason this is kind of pulled out.
So we need speakers or loudspeakers. We've got to have them, whether it's this company or somebody else.
Absolutely.
Okay, so right now, we just need to know what's.
Is this a total cost, or
Exactly.
is this a
Okay,
cost
so let's
just for
move
that
into
equipment?
Discussion, if you guys don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Are okay, then we can discuss it again.
Thursday, and then if we have the full information, we
Right.
can
We can
vote on
table
it, yeah.
then if we need to.
Yeah.
And then there's, I guess, a question about if there is some sort of follow-on work or cleanup work, painting or any repairs from what they do, and how is that going to be paid for?
Handled, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I hear y'all, we're moving it to information. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Thank you, Mr. Burton. Next is second reading of the new local policy EHAD, Basic Instructional Program Elective Instructions. Mr. Michael Martin.
Thank you, Coach Nerman, members of the board, Mr. Burton. This is the second reading, as Coach Nerman mentioned, of policy EHAD local, a policy that awards credit on a pass-fail basis for elective courses other in the area, specifically languages other than English. Under this policy, students may receive credit for a lower level LOT course, such as Spanish 1 or Spanish 2, if they demonstrate proficiency by successfully completing a higher level course, such as Spanish 3, with an overall grade of 70 or higher. This provision is intended to recognize prior knowledge and fluency, allowing students who are already proficient in the language to advance without repeating foundational coursework. Courses taken on a pass-fail basis under this policy will not count towards state graduation credit unless they meet credentialing expectations as outlined in EI local. Again, it's the second reading. Administration will answer any question the board may have.
Is this eventually affect the GPA?
No.
No, sir.
It does not?
No.
Okay.
That's why they're going to put on a pass-fail. They won't get credit for it.
Okay.
Now, this is an excellent, I mean, I can't believe we've waited this long to do this.
Okay, any more questions or comments? All right. Now, next, moving to teaching of the Constitution as required by federal law as a condition of receipt of federal funding. Dr. Jolene Curley, Executive.
Hello, President Nerman, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Burton. Federal law requires that any educational institution that receives federal funds hold an educational program on the United States Constitution on September 17th of each year. This will educate our students about the signing of the Constitution, and for school year 25-26, we ask that the board approve the teaching of the Constitution on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025.
Dr. Curley, the way we manage that would be each classroom teacher would independently does or it gets on an intercom?
It's specific by campus. Our teachers have the autonomy to work with their teacher teams to see what that looks like. A lot of times our campus principals assist with that also.
Okay, what my question was is, for example, algebra class, first period class, teachers would manage it, or the school takes the management of it in one time for everyone, early in the morning?
It's possible that they would have an announcement that it was
Yes.
Constitution Day, and it would be followed up by classroom instruction.
Okay.
Probably in social studies. I have a question, and board, if you'll just bear with me, because this is really personal information. The retired teachers have been contacted by somebody, Susan Atkins. I don't know if you've been contacted by her already, but there is a group that wants to give Constitution information and stuff for 3rd, 8th, and 12th grade, and they were asking for volunteers. And the reason I wanted to know where we stand on that is because, you know, needless to say, I'm going to volunteer. And do you know anything about that? Have they contacted you yet?
No, ma'am.
So it's just those 3 areas that that will have a volunteer come in and actually give a lesson.
Okay. No, ma'am, I'm not aware of that, but be happy to visit with someone.
Okay.
Well, and I will say that I have visited with Ms. Atkins, and I've talked to her about it on 2 different occasions. I just told her, give me a group. She was kind of going over who would be the volunteers. I said, just give me a diverse group that can come in and do that and get back with us, and we'll arrange however we need to have them do that.
Okay.
So we're on board with it, we just need a plan.
Okay, thanks.
So question, where does the material come from that's going to be taught on September 17th? And I take it's going to be standard across the board for all classes.
Yes, ma'am. There's information that's available, and we do this as well as with other remembrance opportunities for our students. Like, we're required to do a Holocaust remembrance. There's a specific state and national website and it's grade specific, so we make sure that We're aligned with the TEKS, but it's also age appropriate.
Okay, any more questions, comments? Dr. Curley, since you're there, district improvement plan for 2025-2026 school year.
Yes, sir. The district improvement plan is located on page 54 of the board book. The district completed a comprehensive needs assessment in May of last year that resulted in identifying these objectives that will impact our student performance and also align to specific indicators of the Texas Education Code. We ask that the board approve the 25-26 district improvement plan goals and performance objectives.
Board?
I have a question. So the governor says he wants to get rid of this STAR test. What's our backup plan, or is it premature to have a backup plan?
I think it's premature.
Do we have some kind of testing that we've been doing through the years, and we'll go to that testing so we're going to have to make goals for that testing, right?
Yes, sir. We have a local assessment calendar because we never want to wait till the end of the school year to see how our students are doing. So we have those curriculum embedded assessments as well as like a benchmark after the first of the year. So we're constantly measuring our student performance in increments, and those are all aligned to state standards as well.
Okay, so the follow-up question to that, we have a lot of migrants or students coming in and out. And so when we have people coming in with no prior history, how are they counted? I mean, we don't have anything to know if they improved or where they're, we're just finding out where they're at. Do we just not use them for the first year until we have some benchmark for them?
Well, for our students that are in bilingual education, we have assessments that align to their first language. And so we are able to get a baseline and determine student growth with our local assessment banks.
So you compare it to their assessment, their initial assessment?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so that everybody will be included in the evaluation?
Absolutely.
So when we come through this, we're talking about every child is evaluated for progress?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would say, Dr. G, I would imagine they're going to give us a lot of guidance on this and probably maybe even some testing. They're going to do it 3 times a year, we know that. Other than that, I doubt they're going to say, y'all take care of it and just give us your results. There'll be a lot of those questions you just asked will be in there, and they're going to say, well, we want you to take this assessment or this assessment, and they'll do a lot of that when it's all fleshed out and everybody decides what they're going to do.
But actually, they're planning on trying to do this in this emergency session, right?
Yes.
And
As
if they
far
don't
as
get it on this
replacing-
one, he's going to make another one.
Right. I think they're going to talk about replacing the STAR, but I don't think they're going to put
Yeah.
the new system in place
Yeah.
Until 2027, I think I saw it once, earliest.
It'll take time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us with our low grades? We're just hanging?
We're just going to keep teaching, and whatever test they take, they won't do well on. So we
Okay.
won't
So
play the testing.
We're going to improve in progress for every student, no matter what the testing is.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Okay,
I
I'm all
wish you
for
would
that.
repeat that, Mr. Burton,
But
that we are going to educate these kids.
Exactly. We're working and making
and
them
see them
instructionally.
improve
Yeah.
on whatever test we
That's
give
correct.
them. Because it's education we're giving them, not, let me pass that test.
testing skills, correct. Absolutely.
Going to get me all upset.
Okay, any question on that? We finished that. Dr. Curley, now federally funded vendors, professional development, coaching, and consultation.
Yes, sir. We are asking for board approval on the updated list for professional development, coaching, and consultation. It's located on page 62 of our board book. In June, the board approved the list of vendors. So this month, we only have one addition, and that's the Thrive Learning Services. And we're seeking board approval to add this to our list of vendors.
Okay,
Okay.
that would be our consent agenda, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Mr. Zamanek, amendment to 2025-2026 compensation plan.
Good afternoon, President Irma, members of the board, and Superintendent Burton. This amendment today is adding within our comp plan a specific title, which you can see, I believe it's on page 64, is the action sheet, with 60, I would assume 5 being where the actual amendment is. Special Education Administrator. This individual is the one that is supporting our centralized classrooms, specifically at Brooks Quinn Jones Elementary School.
Okay.
There is, for the board's information, this is not creating a new position, it's simply adding the title so we can have the title reflected in our board-approved compensation plan. Happy to entertain any questions you might have.
This is a new thing we're doing, right? This centralized. Would you elaborate on that?
Ms. App, I would love to. However, you have an expert sitting right out here. So if you
Oh,
don't
I
mind,
see her, yeah.
I'm going to call Ms. Kayla Hughes to the microphone. If you wouldn't mind sharing your wisdom with us.
Yes, oh, sorry, I'm a little short. Excuse my attire, I've been at Brooks Quinn Jones assisting today. So our centralized programs that classrooms that we created, after reviewing and being and observing on the campuses for an entire year last year, what we found was that we had classrooms that had full continuum of services of kids in one classroom. And so I'm asking a teacher to address a student who has an emotional disability, who needs behavioral specific curriculum and support, as well as social skills, students with autism, students with intellectual disabilities, and in some cases, functional life skills students who are just learning to be comfortable in the environment. And they're all in one classroom together. And I'm asking that teacher to try to implement 3 to 4 different programs and meet all the needs of the kids at the same time. And so this wasn't working. And we were having turnover every year. And so in order to address the needs of the teachers and support them as well as the students, I presented this plan to create centralized classrooms. I've been doing it for years with the Regional Day School Program for the Deaf, where we have a centralized classroom that we support 21 school districts, and we do it very well. And we have been doing it very well since the late 70s. And so I designed a model the same. And so we created classrooms based on the needs of the kids. I pulled administrators, teachers, some parents. I pulled my evaluation teams, my behavior teams, and some of the upper administration. And I'm like, where are our needs? Tell me what we need. Tell me why. And then we devised a list of students that met those models. And after researching other districts in the state that have similar programs, we created these classrooms. We created a bridge classroom for students who have emotional disabilities or similar disabilities that really need structure that can academically perform, but their behavior is impeding their learning and the learning of others. And so our focus is on social skills, replacement behaviors, while we're also addressing academics. We also have our ABLES class, they're K through 5. We have 2 of them because we have a large population of students with autism or other developmental disabilities that need that same type of structure. So we have 2 classrooms there with the amount of para support that's needed in order for us to teach students in a very structured environment where they need visual schedules. They don't take routine change well. And social skills and behavioral skills, language, communication, and an array of other things in a classroom. And then we also have behavioral life skills. It's students who are life skill students. They have an intellectual disability or a developmental delay that's similar, and they would normally be in a life skill classroom or a self-contained classroom at a campus. However, their behavior is so severe that they're impeding their learning and the learning of others. And so we're addressing that behavior as well as academic, functional, and vocational learning in that setting. And then we also created a functional life skills class that is addressing our students who are medically fragile or the students non-ambulatory, so that they can actually get down on the floor, they can interact with their environment, their sensory walls, and perform without having to be worried about being trampled or hit with something or injured. And parents are becoming more comfortable with sending their students to the school setting. And so I'm welcome to answer any questions. Those are the ones we currently have that we're providing, as well as the full continuum of services at every campus.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this was mentioned earlier, either at the end of the year or sometime this summer. I wanted, and thank you for going more into depth. This is like a no-brainer, that why were we putting, it's hard enough in a regular classroom to have children at different reading levels, for instance, or math skills, and trying to teach the whole 30 kids. I can't imagine with special needs that it's taken us this long to do this, but I wanted you to go into the detail because I want public to know this, not just the parents who were contacted, because no one else in the county offers this kind of service, and it is just so, I mean, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I want to genuinely, sincerely thank you. It helps the teachers as well.
Yes, yes.
It helps a lot of, nobody goes home really frustrated.
Well, they might.
I agree with my
But they know
colleagues.
I'm there with them.
I agree with my colleagues. Improving learning in every location we have requires organization, and you definitely are an organizer. And we know that that's going to improve not only the performance for our students, but it's going to improve what your team members, they know what to do and how to do it. So it's just win-win-win. And so we know that this is a difficult area, and we appreciate your expertise and mastery and your guidance of this program, and we want to have another chief help you in this process.
Okay.
I appreciate you letting me pass the question. I think she was much more eloquent. in
She was
explaining.
really good, you know.
Thank you.
So it is administration's recommendation that the board approve the amendment to the comp plan.
Absolutely. Okay, next is item I, 2025-2026 Professional Development Plan. Again, Mr. Charles Amonic, Director of Human Resources.
Thank you, President Neermont, members of the board, and Superintendent Burton. I am presenting for you today the 25-26 Professional Development Plan. It begins, I believe, on page 66 in your board book. This is tied to Senate Bill 1267, which does have specific trainings we're mandated by law to provide. I've included as an attachment the actual clearinghouse document that tells us what the professional developments are. You will find probably a very, very small attachment because it is a very, very, very big document. And bless Ms. Ochoa for trying to help me get the professional development plan to fit on one page. Thank you to Dr. Corley and the teaching and learning team because they're the ones that help us really put that together. But as you can see, we have a number of trainings we're doing throughout the school year. Very proud to say that a majority of these have already taken place. So these were done over the summer during in-service periods, but have ongoing supports.
Okay.
Happy to entertain any questions.
I was going to say, I drove by the DSC and our new Learning Center connected to that, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't know how finished it is, but possibly some of this learning will be carried out in that new Teacher and Learning Center. And will we maximize the number of these courses that they take in learning days? Are they going to have to still do stuff in their own time to get all this completed? Because the state keeps piling on mandatory stuff. So are we going to get a lot of this into those specific learning days? Are they going to be also some of the things they have to do on their own? Like there was an EpiPen thing. You know, that I don't know how long they require, but to learn to use an EpiPen is, you know, a 10-minute demonstration. But anyway, I'll let you speak if you have anything to say to that.
Well, I've learned how to use an EpiPen 10 times as I'm on my 10th year. And so most of these trainings are actually done through digital online learning and are conducted during staff development days. We try to make sure that they are not losing their personal time or having to put a sub in the room. There are some trainings, Dr. Groman, that do require that because we may not be able to offer it here, so we utilize Region 7. One of the things that we've been working, well, the HR team in Region 7's professional development team have been working towards is with this new PD center, we'll probably be the southernmost, we'll have the southernmost capabilities, and so being able to maybe attract some of their trainings to our professional development center so our folks don't have to travel so far.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Z. Okay, any more comments? Now, the board will now conduct an executive closed session to discuss items posted on our agenda pursuant to the following provision of Texas Open Meeting Act and as allowed by Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, and 551.129. No voting take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as the result of discussions in closed meeting will take place after the board reconvenes into open session. On my time, which is different, 12:30. All right. We're moving to the executive session. Okay, the board now is reconvening into open session, and time is 18?
119.
1:19. Okay. Board members, are there any requests for future agenda? Not? We reconvene.